In this video, we will be talking about evaluating and improving your model, steps 4, 5, and 6. So in the previous video, we talked about steps 1, 2, and 3. And now this video, we'll be talking about 4, 5, and 6. And these are done after you are happy with your model, completing steps 1, 2, and 3. First, we need to think about what is driving the dynamics of the system. This is important to think which factors may or may not be drivers, as defined by a mental modeler, have disproportional influence on system dynamics, especially as it relates to unsustainable or non-preferred changes in system states. So going back to our exemplar model from the previous video, we want to ask ourselves, thinking generally, what are the factors that have a disproportionate influence on the system dynamics? So we have two components here that we've highlighted that could potentially be the factors that have disproportionate influence on system dynamics because they have a greatest number of connections. Or maybe these are components that we hypothesize might have a greater influence on the system dynamics based on what we know about the system. So first we need to define leverage points. So this is a quote from Donella Meadows saying, "Folks who do systems analysis have a great belief in leverage points. These are places within a complex system, a corporation, an economy, a living body, a city, or an ecosystem, where a small shift in one thing can produce big changes in everything." So thinking back to our systems model, we want to evaluate the dimensions for leverage points. And we want to think about asking ourselves a few questions. What do we want the system to look like, and what are our goals? So back to our exemplar model, sustainable agriculture might be our goal, and sustainable agriculture, we know, might be increasing these components that we've highlighted here. But how do we increase all of these components simultaneously? That is important for us to think about our leverage points, and particularly, where is the best leverage point to intervene? So in our exemplar model, we have identified perhaps adding a subsidized and promotion of organic farming component that would then influence some of our other components within the model. So let's see if adding that component achieves our goals or if the outcomes seem reasonable. So here we've run our scenario from the model, our exemplar model, after we've added the organic farming component. And we can see here the outcomes from a scenario from adding that component. We see a reasonable decrease in pesticide and herbicide, which is what we are hoping for, and a reasonable increase in human health and environmental health. But as we look at the other components as a result of our scenario, well, these might not make as much sense. So we have a decrease in social equity and cultural